I have never played a Silent Hill game, which is strange because despite never having played a single one of them, Silent Hill has been a huge inspiration for me creatively. And so I have a very strange relationship with that series, a series that I have never played before, that I don't even know really I don't even know what the series really is about. And yet, I feel really drawn to this series, to this town, to this world that I'm completely unfamiliar with. And that's so weird, how I can be completely unfamiliar with something, and yet it feels very much like home in a very weird way. I don't know when I first heard about Silent Hill or when I was first really introduced to it. I think it is one of those games that, kind of stumble upon a name of on the internet from time to time. And you hear about it, but you don't really know what it is about. There's a lot of games that I've heard so much about that I've never played. Final Fantasy, for example, or Xenoblade, or Kingdom Hearts. All of these games, stuff that I know about, seen pictures of, hear people talk about all the time, but have no personal experience with. And Silent Hill is one of those. But unlike the other ones, Silent Hill is something I continuously come back to. And when I mean come back to, I mostly mean the music. The music and images of the world. And so it seems like many people agree, because when I look up Silent Hill music on YouTube to get inspiration, to get the creative gears in my head flowing and spinning, the usual name of the videos and the usual images chosen in the videos are often very similar to the images I get in my head when I hear this kind of music. It is often something that is very desolate, very isolated, very alone. Like you're somewhere far away from civilization, from humanity, or from reality itself. But there's a strange peace in all of it. There's something relaxing in it, there's something melancholic in it, there is something longing there for something else, but also for you to stay there and keep being there. I know about PT, the playable teaser, which was probably one of the most famous horror games ever made, I guess, which sadly was never released. I think all of us who played or saw it was surprised and shocked over just how good it was, and how unique it was, and just how terrifyingly well they managed to capture the horror in all of us. What we really fear, all of us. Something that fascinates me, one of the many things that fascinate me about Silent Hill, is how it can be so terrifying as it was in the PT demo that we got, and also can be so dawn peaceful and dreamy at the same time. I think it reminds me a bit of Twin Peaks, a show, probably my favorite show ever, which has the same kind of mixture of something beautiful and peaceful, childlike, nostalgic, but also with an underlying horror underneath everything that is really beyond our explanation, beyond our understanding even. I have a feeling that contributes to why I love the vibes I've gotten so far of Silent Hill. Or maybe it's the other way around, that Silent Hill has really affected how I view Twin Peaks. Maybe a bit of both, who knows. But when I sit down to listen to Silent Hill music, to get in a specific mood, a creative mood, What I feel for some strange reason is nostalgia. And it is not a happy nostalgia and also not a sad one. It is something very in between. And I think that is a very good balance. It is a nostalgia that is something I long back to, but also never really experienced. But it is a feeling that is this looming there, that is something I long for. At Silent Hill, both its music that I've heard and these beautiful, lonely, low-res images I've seen, they all make me feel this way. It makes me feel like being taken back to makes me feel like being taken back to my past, to my childhood, back 20 years. But there's no one there. Everyone has moved on. Everyone is in the present, and I'm back there 20 years ago alone. And I am in this nostalgic world that felt both more colorful, but also more blurry at the same time, because that is how nostalgia makes us feel, or at least how it makes me feel. It is both more colorful, but also a bit more fuzzy and blurry and dreamy. It is a dreamy state, a dreamy world, the past. It is a dreamy world. And Silent Hill makes me feel like being taken back there, and it makes me re-feel and relive all of those nostalgic feelings head on. But it is not as beautiful as nostalgia makes it be. It is more lonely, it is more strange. It is less colorful. And it's empty. It is devoid of people. It is devoid of the faces that you remember as a child. It is devoid of the color and the magic that was there. And all that is left is this floaty, dreamy, peaceful feeling that is still there. But everything else, all that had brought life into this dreamy, peaceful world, is kind of taken away. And that is why I love it so much. It is a very interesting and strange atmosphere. How it can be both terrifying and lonely and relaxing all at the same time. I actually also think much about liminal places when I hear music like this. But liminal places in a beautiful way. Not in these terrifying, eerie, closed down malls or closed down restaurants or schools. But more exterior landscapes. Forests and lakes and a brown sky, a purple sky, where the wind has stopped and things are not really moving anymore. It's kind of frozen in place. The grass is dead. Trees are standing still. The water is flowing very slowly, very peacefully. And there are no one around. No people around. It's hard to explain. And it's also strange why I have not played Silent Hill yet. And I do have a theory as to why. I believe I have avoided playing Silent Hill because I am afraid that this magic might be taken away. That after playing the games, I will see these images and hear this music in a new way. Because when I listen to this now, or when I look at this now, I get memories of a past that I did not experience. I get nostalgia for something that have never happened to me. It is filled with questions, filled with mysteries, and filled with a lonely, lonesome, regretful, otherworldly feeling. It is alien. It is strange. It is otherworldly, like a dreamy dimension, an otherworldly dimension, a surreal one, but one that also feels like home because it is nostalgic. And nostalgic feels safe. It feels like home. And that combination is very special. it does something to you. And I'm afraid that playing the games will put context to these emotions. It will put context to this atmosphere that it gives me. And once that context is there, it cannot really be taken away. All that I have of all this is something retro, because I really associated with those retro 3D graphics of the old Silent Hill games, I suppose. I associated with that, and snow, at a small town where no one lives anymore. Maybe someone lived here long ago, but not anymore. Something peaceful, and that there might be something otherworldly lurking out there or down there in the shadows. But up here, in the snowy, lonely, nostalgic landscape, it is safe. It is safe, but it is lonely. But there are otherworldly, incomprehensible danger lurking somewhere. And so you have this balance, you have this black and white, this yin and yang, these contrasts in there. And that is all kind of the context that I have in my mind. And that very limited information or very limited concrete stuff to hold on to makes my imagination just run wild, because I have nothing really solid to associate this music with or these images with. And that is why I find Silent Hill so fascinating, because it gives me nostalgia for something I had never played. That is, it's not often that this happens. And so I'm curious, if you have any game, any movie, any music, anything, where you feel kind of the same way. Is there anything that you have not, that comes from something, a source that you have not experienced, but still gives you something? Because I think that is it is such an interesting experiment, honestly, to listen to music from a film or a game, or to see images or anything from a piece of media that you haven't really experienced in full, and see what that does to you compared to someone who has seen or played that game. What association do you start to make up, and what images start to pop up in your mind? Where does your imagination take you? It is very cool what our creativity can do to us when we hear something and see something and don't really have anything to... don't have any box to place it in, you know? It could be fun, of course, to play the Silent Hill games. I've thought about it for a long time. I don't really know how many games there are in the series, even. I don't even know if there's movies made of these games. I'm sure there are. And I have no idea how many games there are, if there are remasters or remakes and sequels and prequels or whatever. I have no idea. But it could be fun to maybe one day jump in and see what Silent Hill really is about. Because now I have my associations that I have at the moment. And so bringing context, a different context, to this music and to these images could allow me to compare what my own mind makes up to what the creatives behind this piece of work was actually telling. And I think that is a very interesting observation and a very interesting experiment for anything that comes to the creative. And it's something worth thinking about, and something worth experimenting with yourself.